Imagine this, you're standing in your kitchen staring at a sink full of dishes and your brain is having a complete meltdown. Not because the dishes are difficult, but because your mind is simultaneously working out how long that will take, remembering you also forgot to call your mum last week, and questioning why everything is happening all at once. All of this happens in about 3 seconds, and then you just stand there, frozen, completely overwhelmed by a task that should take maybe 10 minutes. If you have ADHD, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That constant mental noise, the way simple tasks turn into hour-long rabbit holes, the exhaustion of trying to fight with your own thought. But here's what I discovered while doing research for this video. There are AI tools out there that actually work with ADHD instead of against them. Some of these I've been using for months, others I didn't know existed until I made this video. So today I'm sharing 5 AI tools that have either saved my sanity or completely blown my mind when I tested them. And this isn't some perfectly polished video where I tell you I've mastered using all of these tools, because I haven't. This is genuinely just me figuring it out in real time, just like you. And before we dive in, I know how overwhelming it can be to try new productivity tools. So I've created a free Notion template with 10 ADHD specific AI prompts that you can grab in the link down below. All right, let me paint you a picture of a typical day in my life. I wake up at 5, I do my morning meditation and stretches, I work out at the gym, I tidy the house, I drive my very energetic toddler to childcare, I work for 8 hours a day, I cook dinner, I do the chores, I put my toddler to bed, and then if I'm lucky, I might get an hour to myself where I can focus on creative work like making these YouTube videos, and that's if I'm not completely burnt out by that point. And yes, that's actually a realistic day in my life. It sounds like a lot, and it is, but when you're a busy dad who works full time and you're also trying to build a successful YouTube channel on the side, you don't really get much of a choice. Now, that's not to say I don't love my life, because I do. I love being a dad to Charlie. I love being a partner to Kaylee. I love having Lucky around the house. And I love creating memories and going on different adventures on the weekends. But when you have ADHD and you're trying to juggle 101 things every single day, it can get exhausting. Not just physically, but mentally too. My brain has to switch between modes almost every hour. Dad mode, gym mode, work mode. And that constant gear changing can cause mental burnout without you even realizing it. But having said that, I'm actually quite lucky, because we're now living in a world where we have instant access to AI tools and advanced technology. We have access to tools that can analyze and summarize 30-page documents in the blink of an eye. Just let that sink in for a second. That's actually insane. Our parents and grandparents didn't have these when they were growing up. And not only do we now have access to these tools, they can actually help us solve our problems and make a big difference to our lives. That's where I got the idea for this video. I thought, what if there are AI tools out there that have been specifically designed to help people with ADHD? See, ADHD brains have what researchers call executive dysfunction. It's not laziness or lack of motivation. It's literally your brain's management system running on dial-up while the world expects high-speed internet. So I started looking into this. Ironically, I used an AI tool called Perplexity to help me do deep research for this video. And it gave me a list of AI tools which have actually had a positive impact. Some of these tools I've already been using, others I didn't even know they existed until I made this video. Now, before I dive into these tools, let me be completely honest with you. I'm not an expert on any of these tools. Some I've used quite a lot, others I literally tested for the first time while preparing everything for this video. That's exactly why I wanted to be open and transparent with you, because I'm just a human being, same as you, just trying to figure stuff out as I go along. But I do think these tools have the potential to actually help people. All right, let's start with the obvious one, ChatGPT. Now, before you click off the video, just hear me out. I use ChatGPT in a way that most people don't even think of. Most people use it to answer random questions or help draft emails, but for people with me, it can become something so much more powerful. According to research, ADHD brains need something called cognitive scaffolding. We need external structure to support our internal executive function. And ChatGPT has become that structure for me. Here's a few different ways I use ChatGPT. The mental download. When my brain feels like a web browser with 47 different tabs open, I open up ChatGPT and tell it that I'm feeling overwhelmed. Here's everything swirling around in my head right now. I list everything out and then I ask it, can you help me organize these thoughts into 3 categories? Urgent, important, and can wait until after a game of Mario Kart. This helps me turn mental chaos into a clear, manageable system. the anxiety processor. So when I'm spiraling out about something, I'll tell ChatGPT, I'm anxious about this upcoming event and my brain is having a meltdown. Can you help me understand what I'm actually worried about? The key here is to be completely honest about your struggles. If you tell it how your brain works, it becomes this incredible thinking partner that adapts to your needs. This is a tool that started my whole journey with AI tools and it's been an absolute game changer. Next up, Notion. Now, I know a lot of you have probably heard of Notion or even use it yourself. For those of you that haven't, Notion is basically an all-in-one digital workspace that lets you take notes, manage tasks, build systems, and organize your life in one place. The reason Notion is so special to me is because I discovered it when I needed it the most. This was back in 2023. I'd just become a dad, and even though it was a wonderful new stage of my life, I hadn't slept properly in about 6 weeks. My mind felt completely cluttered, and I'd never felt so overwhelmed in my life. Not to put anyone off from having a baby or anything. Don't get me wrong, being a parent is incredible, but it can be quite tiring sometimes. I got to a point where my mind felt like it was about to explode. I felt like I needed to take back control. I just needed to get organized. So I Googled best life organizers. After clicking a few different websites, I came across an article called Best Notion Life Organizers. I didn't even know these existed. So I had a look through them, narrowed it down to the most helpful ones, and ended up spending around £50 on an all-in-one life which had everything from customizable to-do list, daily routines and habits, and even a complete meal planner section. And this single template changed my life. And yes, I know how ridiculous that sounds. It's a template, but to me, it was so much more than that. It was a place where I could store everything that had been crammed inside my brain, but most importantly, it gave me back a sense of control, which I really needed at that point. Anyway, since then, I've tweaked the life organizer to be more suitable for my everyday life. So let me show you. So here we've got the homepage, which has a directory of all the different features. You can see we have a task list, a content calendar to keep track of all the videos I'm working on, and even a fitness tracker to keep track of all of my workouts. If we scroll down, you can see everything links back to the homepage. So I can see my daily habits and routines, the content I've watched the notes on, my chores list, and even my most recent journal entries. Yes, I journal. It's incredibly helpful, especially when you have ADHD. But here's the truth. I don't use all of this. It's amazing to have all of these features, don't get me wrong, but I just use what I need when I need it the most. That's the true power of Notion. Now, here's where things get interesting. I discovered Goblin tools while researching this video, and I'm honestly a little bit annoyed at myself for not realizing this existed sooner. This isn't just another one of those random productivity apps. It's been built by and for neurodivergent brains. When I first saw it, I thought what you're probably thinking right now. It looks a bit simple, right? But that simplicity is what makes this such a great tool for people with ADHD. We struggle enough with shiny object syndrome. We don't need another tool that has 100 different features that we'll never use. Notion excluded, of course. Here's what I love about Goblin tools. Magic to do. This breaks down overwhelming tasks into tiny, actually doable steps. You know how you'll look at clean the house on your to-do list and your brain just shuts down from pure overwhelm. Goblin Tools takes that impossible task and breaks it down into smaller steps, such as picking up items from the coffee table, putting dishes in the dishwasher, and hoovering the living room. Again, this sounds super simple, but that's why it works so well. I've only been using Goblin Tools for a short time, but it's already helped me so much. Oh, and it's completely free to use. This is another one I discovered during my research for this video, and honestly, it's completely changed the way I think about time management. Brains have this thing called time blindness, where 20 minutes feels like 2 hours and 2 hours feels like 20 minutes. This makes planning feel almost impossible when you have no clear concept of time. This is where Timo comes in. It's a visual planner that actually shows time in a way your brain can comprehend. I've been testing it for about a week now, and there are a few features that really make it stand out. Visual time blocks. I can see at a glance how much time I have between tasks. No more accidentally spending an hour reorganizing my desk setup when I should be working on my video. Transition warnings. Timo gives you gentle nudges before you need to switch tasks. This is actually super helpful because sudden transitions can completely derail someone with ADHD. Emotional color coding. You can even color code tasks by energy level or mood. Red for high energy tasks, blue for admin stuff, green for creative. I'm still figuring out the best way to use it, but I can already see my days much more clearly. If you also struggle with time management, Timo is definitely worth a try. They even offer a 7-day free trial so you can try it for yourself and see if it's actually helpful for you. All right, now I'll be completely honest with you. I wasn't 100% sure on this one at first. I mean, it just seemed like another focused music app. I thought I can just listen to this for free on YouTube, right? But I thought I'd give it a try anyway. So I actually tested it out while writing the script for this video. And I'm going to be honest with you, it kind of blew my mind. Here's something most people don't realize. We're incredibly sensitive to our environment. The wrong background noise can completely disrupt our focus, but this works both ways. If you can create the right environment, you can unlock a level of concentration you never even knew existed. Brain FM is scientifically designed audio that actually changes your brainwave patterns. They even have an ADHD mode that's specifically engineered for ADHD brains. I tried the focus mode. When I needed to write my script, this created a calm audio bubble that helped me avoid distractions. I ended up writing for about 45 minutes without even realizing it, which almost never happens. That's very rare. When my brain felt anxious or stressed, I tried this mode and it literally helped calm down my nervous system. It was super relaxing. What I love most about Brain FM is the fact that I can just open it up whenever I have a spare 10 minutes. As a busy dad who's constantly wearing different hats all day, it's essential for me to make the absolute most of my time. Brain FM helps me to maximize my focus in those spare pockets of time. Oh, and they also offer a free 7-day trial as well. Here's my biggest takeaway from making this video. I've
Hmm.
been making my brain work way harder than it needs to without even realizing it. The tools I've been using for a while, like ChatGPT and Notion, they've become essential parts of my daily routine. The ones I've just discovered, like Goblin tools and Brain FM, are already showing promise after just a week of testing. You don't need to figure this out all at once. Start with one tool, get comfortable with it, then add another. Doing the research for this video reminded me why I love creating content. It's not about having all the answers, it's about figuring things out together. If you want to check out any of these AI tools for yourself, I've left links down in the description below. And I've also left links to the free Notion template and email newsletter I mentioned earlier. If you found this video helpful, you might like to check out this one here,